Greetings, I'm Michael DeSanto and the host of this edition of Champion Chats, where we dive into proven success stories from around the fluid analysis industry. Today, we're joined by Jim Salmon from D-A Lubricants. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Well, thank you for joining us on Champion Chats. I'm going to jump right into this since I know you have a lot of good stories to share. Can you maybe describe a little bit how you have built trust in your organization to rely more on fluid analysis?
Yeah, I'd be happy to, Mike. D-A Lubricant is a manufacturer of products, so we're technically not an end user, but we provide the service, used oil analysis service for our customers, for our end users who buy our lubricants or who don't buy our lubricants but want to use your program. As far as building trust, we used to do all of our stuff in-house. There's been nobody other than the military or railroad who has done sampling longer than D-A. We started in about the 1950s. We understand the importance of a comprehensive oil analysis program. And so we look for a lab with consistent, repeatable results. And we found that with Polaris Laboratories. The results that our customers are getting are very consistent, very repeatable, and that's key to a successful oil analysis program.
Excellent, great. As you continue to talk about results and you emphasize the results that you've achieved, what are maybe some of the most beneficial results your company is experiencing from a robust fluid analysis program?
Seeing how they work in different applications, as well as provide the customer with what's going on inside there as far as wear metals go, as far as oxidation levels, and give them a good look inside that component to see how it's going. Not every fluid's going to work in every environment. That gives us a chance to get to the customer, get some feedback from the customer on what they're doing with it to help us improve our products, but also to help them with their maintenance program. Another thing that it's done is it helped us gain respect with our customers. They'll see these results, products working, and if it's not working, what's going on, what's wearing, and what can we do to correct that problem.
So Jim, you talked a lot about results, and one of the things that we talk about is proven results. And one of the elements of proven results is proven impact. Maybe you can explain a little bit more about how fluid analysis has impacted your company and its corporate objectives.
With the use of oil analysis, there's no question that we've been able to provide a benefit to our customers and end users. Analysis gives the customers kind of a figuratively heads inside the piece of equipment look at what's going on. Is there wear? Does something need repair? In other words, preventive maintenance. And of course, how is the lubricant performing? So for us as a company, it definitely helps us to take a real world look at what's going on with our lubricant, as well as with the customer's piece of equipment in the application that they're using it in. Does it meet the needs they have? Is it wearing? If it is wearing, is it something that we can change? Is it something the customer is doing that can be altered or changed?
That's exciting. That's a lot of great news right there. So it's kind of building on, the answers from the last couple of questions here about some of the examples and stories you've shown. Can you share a little bit more about how D-A Lubricants and any other examples you want to share about how you're utilizing the information and recommendations that you received?
Sure. Again, I keep emphasizing this. It's twofold for our company because we are a manufacturer, not necessarily an end user, but we have to look at the oil analysis that's coming from our customers to help support them. So obviously we're looking at our products, but we're also looking at what the customer's doing with that. But it allows us to look at an entire fleet for not just one individual object, but we can, and help them set a maintenance practice for that. And one of the things that we provide through oil analysis is also training. We get out in front of the customer, you do simple little training sessions on how to take a sample. We demonstrate how to take a sample. Now, real world scenario is a little bit different than us oil geeks in your business as well as in mine. Our expectations of clean are up here, spotless, whatever. So that's a perfect world, but we all know it's not a perfect world, and there's going to be some contamination process. But if we can train the customer on how to take a sample, how to process a sample, how to keep track of the sample, we're going to set up a trending policy that will allow us to continue to serve that customer. And we can also provide interpretation of the results for those. They may not understand. They may see numbers on a paper, but doesn't really tell them what they're seeing or what it means. So.
Well, when we hear that we're being called oil geeks, we wear that with a badge of honor, just for the record. So,
yes, absolutely.
So kind of maybe in closing here a little bit, can you share maybe one recommendation that you could use based on all your experience and the company's experience and R&D that you do as well about how other maintenance professionals can really manage a successful fluid analysis program going forward?
Well, for people who are professional oil analysis or people involved in taking oil samples or even doing results, there's only one thing, and they'll all understand it very, very good. There's two things actually: cleanliness and consistency. This also gives us the ability to use a new bottle, use new tubing. That stuff's cheap. It's not expensive at all to do that. But one of the things that we can do with the customer is, once you establish a consistent sampling program, you'll establish a trend. In other words, what's normal for that piece of equipment. You can have two things come off the assembly line side by side, the exact same specs, and they are not going to wear the same. So understanding the trend, what's normal for one piece of equipment and what's not, is just imperative. And you cannot do that without oil sampling. So think about it. If you can save a customer with a fleet of trucks, let's say he's got 200 trucks, if you can save them one oil change a year, again, all of this is done without compromising the integrity of the piece of metal or the fluid to make sure that everything stays where it needs to be. The cost savings for a large fleet like that, one oil change a year, not just the cost of the oil, not just the cost of the filter, but the wages spent on the technician doing that one sample, the lost revenue for that truck not being on the road, those things can all add up. So it's not just to save money, to protect your equipment, it's all of those things. So again, repeated one last time, cleanliness and consistency is the key to a successful maintenance program.
Jim, you talked about cleanliness and consistency, and those are two really strong messages, and we really appreciate you taking the time to share your insights today.
Thank you, glad to be here.
And for all of you, thank you for viewing Champion Chats. To learn more about how we help companies save more equipment and increase uptime, visit us at polarislabs.com. I'll see you soon.